The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. As I said before, this is a book that I've really wanting to read since the time when it came out. I finally have it. I most likely will probably read it. The story still interests me, and again, the movie was okay. The people who played the three characters in the movie, which are Chloe Grace Moretz, Alex Rowe, and Nick Robinson, I actually am a pretty big fan of them, and I've seen a lot of their other projects. That's one of the reasons why I thought it was okay, because I actually enjoyed their performances and enjoyed the story for the most part, but it wasn't that exciting or thrilling. And the big reveal that was like the big plot twist wasn't really a shock factor added to it, so I'm pretty sure the book is definitely better. I've heard that it was better, at least, because when the movie came out, again, I heard that it wasn't that great. Overall, I'm really glad that I finally own the book. This is also a first book in a trilogy. The second book I got is A Million Suns by Beth Revis, and this is the sequel to Across the Universe by Beth Revis. I've had this book for about a few years now, and I haven't really read it. And I didn't bother getting the sequel beforehand, before like reading Across the Universe book. I'm like, I am interested in it and I will definitely get around to it. This was only $1. I was like, why not get it so that way I have the sequel along with it. I don't remember if this is actually a trilogy. I think it is. With all of these books, I'm gonna put them in the description down below if you want to know more about each book in this video. Or videos, depending on if I'm going to decide to split this up into 2 parts or even more parts than just 2 parts. The next book I got is Scan by Walter Jury and Sarah Fine. I saw this book and thought it was interesting on its own with like the cover of how it looks, and then I read the synopsis and I actually was really intrigued by it because it does have to do with like an alien type invasion kind of world and post-apocalyptic almost. If you read The Fifth Wave, which obviously I haven't, but if you know what the story is about, then this sounded similar to The Fifth Wave. Maybe just because it has to do with like an alien invasion kind of thing. I usually enjoy those type of stories for some reason. I don't know, I just maybe find them more interesting. Like Ender's Game is one of them, and I actually really love that. I've never heard of this book. The next one I have to show you, I've never heard of it either. These were the ones that I never knew of that I saw there at the book sale, and I wanted to pick them up because they piqued my interest for like the first time right there. And the next book is, and last book, Hero by Mike Lupica. I don't know exactly how to pronounce his last name. I picked up this book because it's a superhero themed book, and I love superheroes, anything superhero like. And it has to do with like a 14-year-old superhero, and has to do with his father as well. That's pretty much what I got from the synopsis. Sounded really interesting, and superheroes, and yes. So yeah. But these are all the books and DVDs that I got there at the book sale today. That's all for this update, which seems like a pretty big one, slash book haul, DVD haul. Yeah, till next time for another update. That's all for day 3 of Booktube-A-Thon. I didn't even say day 3 yet. So yeah, it was day 3 of the Booktube-A-Thon. See you tomorrow with me reading a lot more tomorrow, hopefully, like seriously. It is now the next day, day 4 of the Booktube-A-Thon, and last night I did actually get a chance to read 2 hours of the audiobook of Unblemished, and that was pretty much like 54 pages, so now I'm like more than halfway done with the book. I'm on page 208, which I started out last night with being on 154, and I only have 5 hours left on the audiobook of it, so I should be able to finish it today. That's my plan, to finish it today and then start reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and hopefully end up finishing that too, possibly, if that's gonna happen. I don't know if that's gonna happen today, but I'm definitely hoping to start the book. Besides continuing on with reading this and finishing it, hopefully. Since I got a lot more new clothes yesterday with my mom and grandma, I am going to be removing the price tags from the clothes and putting them into the wash. So that way I can have nice, clean, new clothes to wear. It is 10:30 at night and I just finished Unblemished. I'm so happy that I finally finished it, accomplished what I was set out to do for today, and it's one book read for the Booktube-A-Thon so far. I did also remove the price tags and washed my clothes like I said I was going to do earlier. Now they're all folded and I was going to put them away after I finished reading the book, and now I have, so I'm just going to do that. But I'll talk about the book a little bit right now. For the most part, I really did enjoy it, even though it took a while for me to really get into the story. It was kind of slow in the beginning, so that's probably why it took me a little while to get into the story. But if I had to give this book a rating out of 1 to 5 stars, it'd probably be a 3.5 or possibly a 4. I most likely will start reading the sequel, but I won't start reading it for a little while just because there's other books that I'm going to be reading, continuing on with for the Booktube-A-Thon. I'll talk about more about this book and what I thought of it in my July wrap-up video. So now that I have finally finished Unblemished, next I'm going to start reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. And this is going to be a reread. The challenge for this is going to be read and watch a book-to-movie adaptation. This should be pretty easy to get through because it's only 189 pages. Probably going to start this tonight and then end up continuing to read it tomorrow and hopefully finish it tomorrow. But I don't know if that's going to happen because my family and I are going to be going to a festival and I'll probably record some of that while we're there. The next clip you're probably going to see is us there. I mean, we go to it almost every year, but now it's getting to the point where there's not really that much to do for us anymore. We've just decided to not go to it at all anymore. That was probably the last time that we'll ever be going there. The only highlight of that was the sunset, which was so amazing to see in person. And another thing was probably all of the pictures, seeing all the photography place we went in the little montage that I did. Those are probably the only two things that were a real highlight for me anyway, being there. Enough about that. Let's talk about my update of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Last night I did actually read like the first chapter, and then I kind of got tired and obviously I went to bed. So since then I pretty much have gotten to the point of, as you can see there, halfway through the book pretty much. I read 87 pages so far. I'm pretty sure by the time tomorrow, hopefully, I will be done with the book and then I can watch the movie. Even though this is a reread and a rewatch, I still am enjoying rereading this. I mean, it's Narnia. Anything Narnia I will definitely enjoy. Can't wait to finish this and rewatch the movie. That's pretty much it for this update for day 5 of the Booktube-A-Thon. I know this is a very short update, but that's pretty much all that happened. We didn't actually stay there long at the Canal Fest, and I did actually get to read quite a bit before we actually went there. When we got home, I made myself some dinner, which was French toast. And then after that, I continued reading a lot more, and I got a lot further into the book. Day 6 of the Booktube-A-Thon, and guess what I just did? I just finished rereading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. That means I get to watch the movie now! This was actually, as I expected it to be, an easy read. Any Narnia reread or rewatch I always enjoy. It always makes me really happy and feels really good whenever I get back into the world of Narnia. The next reread of the Narnia series will be The Horse and His Boy, and I'm really looking forward to rereading that, and I actually really enjoyed that one. I know that it's kind of like very underrated in the series. I personally think that The Horse and His Boy should get a lot more love than it actually is getting. That makes 2 books completed during the Booktube-A-Thon. And even though it's the 6th day, I mean, I feel like that's a huge accomplishment for me because reading 2 books in 1 week, I haven't actually done that before. Normally a book like as big as Unblemished, I would actually take about a whole week to actually read that book, but listening to the audiobook while following along with the book actually helped a lot. Now that I'm done with this, I'm definitely gonna rewatch the movie. And after I'm done rewatching the movie, of course, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be going to bed. For tomorrow, which is the 7th and last day of the Booktube-A-Thon, I don't know if I should be starting a new book or trying to start one of the other books that I have for my Booktube-A-Thon TBR, like the ones that I picked out to read during the Booktube-A-Thon, Story Thieves and Fox. I really want to, but I also really want to start rereading the Ascendance trilogy by listening to the audiobooks because I have all of the audiobooks on Audible, and I was originally gonna start rereading it last year. Again, I wasn't in really like the reading mood, at the time, and now I'm actually really in the reading mood. Like, I want to read like all the books that I have that are unread, of course, and reread some, starting with The False Prince by Jennifer Nielsen. This series, or the Ascendance trilogy is what it's called, I love so much, and as you can see from my previous videos that I did in 2016, I actually mentioned the Ascendance trilogy a lot, and I still stand by what I said, and I did actually make a review video, like a spoiler-free review video of the whole trilogy. It's the only review on my channel. If you want to check that out, then I'll leave a link in the description down below to it. So yeah, I'm actually really excited to reread this by listening to the audiobook or audiobooks. I actually have heard that the audiobooks are actually really good, and I'm really excited to get back into this world and revisit the world, revisit the characters and everything that goes on in this trilogy. That's pretty much it for this update of day 6 of the Booktube-A-Thon. The next clip is probably gonna be me watching The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe movie. The last clip you saw of me was me watching The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe movie, and I was in my happy place. I was just had a big smile on my face, and I was just so like at peace feeling and very happy. It's like Narnia is my happy place. So full of joy watching the movie. I really enjoyed rereading the book and watching the movie right after, and I think I might actually do that with Prince Caspian and the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, just to see like the differences, and it's really interesting seeing what they actually did put into the movie that was from the book. The one thing I noticed about The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe book and versus the movie was that they actually used a lot of the lines that C.S. Lewis wrote in the book and they put them in the movie. I thought that that was really awesome that they did that. And the movie is actually very faithful to the book. So I'm filming this the day that the reading vlog is actually going up. As you can see, I also did split these up into 2 parts. Make sure to watch both parts. I worked really hard on making this reading vlog for you guys, and I actually really enjoyed making it. So I might actually make some more reading vlogs. So day 7, I didn't actually read and I didn't really feel that great, so I actually just took that day to just relax and not read anything at all. So far, all this week, I have yet to start rereading it because I was more focused on editing this video to get it up in time on Friday. I hope you all really enjoyed this video. And if you did, then please hit that like button so that way I know that you enjoyed it and I could make more. Now I'm gonna do a little recap of what I read, even though you already know the 2 books that I have read and picked out to read for the Booktube-A-Thon. Unblemished by Sarah Ella and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. This was probably my official Booktube-A-Thon that I ever actually participated in because it was more of a success than my first time around, and I'm so happy that I actually did end up reading 2 books. I ended up having a lot of fun reading them, and I really enjoyed both of them. And the books that I didn't actually get around to are Fox by Nadine Brands and Story Thieves by James Riley. I was actually really looking forward to reading these, and I of course will get around to reading them hopefully sometime this month because I'm very much interested in wanting to get to them. I'm probably going to be reading one of these 2 books after I'm done rereading the Ascendance trilogy. Last time I participated in the Booktube-A-Thon, I actually did set like 4 books for my goal to get to, and that didn't end up happening. I only ended up reading 1 book. These are also 2 of the books that I got at Barnes & Noble, along with so many other books, which I probably will be doing a book haul video on just those books, so look out for that video. And the other video that I will be having up will be my July wrap-up video, which is pretty much all of the books that I have read in July. I still have my What I've Learned in Cake Decorating class video that should be also coming soon. So I think that might be it for my very first reading vlog. Again, I really hope that you all enjoyed this video. Every book that you see in both of these videos, part 1 and part 2, if you want to know what each book is about, I'll be leaving all the links to them down below in the description in both parts. So I think that's it. I hope you have an amazing day. I love you all so much, and look out for my next video, which will be coming out sometime soon. Bye everyone!